Could I survive the rest of my life, let's say 50 years, in an abandoned Walmart? All items are still there but it doesn't get any deliveries. You could use some of the charcoal grills as dehydrators to make beef jerky, to preserve the meat. You could also dehydrate veggies and fruits. I think they sell the FoodSaver system, if that is what it is called, where you can put your dehydrated food in a bag and suck all the air out of it. You can then store that in mason jars sealed tightly. Actually, they have a garden department, so you could feasibly start gardening to supply your food. They even have a few beginner gardening books. Then you'd not need to worry about eating 20-year-old food. Editing to add. Hopefully you can catch rain or snow for water. They sell water purifying tabs in the camping department. Also edit. I was suggesting a grill because I was thinking there was no electricity. Someone pointed out we'd need electricity for the FoodSaver system, so we'd have to do it manually. Yes, that is another edit. Edit to add again. Wow, thanks for the gilding, sweet stranger. My first ever laughing face. Having rooftop access in your hypothetical scenario would be a game-changer. A Walmart's footprint is enormous, giving you plenty of roof area to grow and collect water. Finding keys or even tools to bust any locks would be easy. Boredom and loneliness would probably get to you. 50 years is a long time. 10 would be hard, but maybe doable. Assuming the electricity stays on, you'd probably be able to make it for 50 years. You would exhaust your fresh food in under 1 month, but you could preserve some of it before it goes bad by scouring the store for Tupperware containers and Ziploc baggies. You could then preserve lots of fresh fruits, vegetables, meats, eggs, etc. After exhausting that food, probably 3 years' worth, you would target canned, bottled food. The best buy date for most canned and bottled food is about 2 to 3 years, and that's only the best to sell before date rather than the date the food goes bad. So for the next 5 to 8 years you'd target, no pun intended, all of the canned, bottled food in Walmart, and if you're smart you'd take some of that food and freeze it in the 1,000s of Tupperware containers and Ziploc baggies still available. This might add another 5 years. After 19 years you'd start transitioning to the frozen goods still stored in the many freezers. It might taste stale or off, but there's no reason to think it would be dangerous. So a conservative estimate, based on a typical Walmart store size, is that you'd last another 5 to 8 years on frozen food alone, which gets you to the 27-year time period. You'd then transition to dry goods like pasta, rice, beans, cereals, etc., which you would hopefully have moved into the freezers in order to stave off dry rot. Cooking all of this food would be made easy by the many microwaves, camp stoves, and even BBQs that you would have found. An indoor barbecue using propane gas cylinders would be reserved for special occasions. The size of the store would mean that vented barbecue gases indoors would not be a particular problem. Assuming you originally enter the store in the spring or summer season, you'd find bags and bags of gardening soil, so you could improvise garden beds, using grow lamps found in the garden section, and extend your beans by growing indoors. Overall, I'm confident one person could last 50 years in an electrified Walmart. Without electricity, I seriously doubt anyone could last longer than 5 to 10 years. The longest any food would last would be 20 years. Much of it would spoil before then. Edit. This is assuming the Walmart would have mice and rats, and that the canned goods would start to rust. The mice and rats would take care of the rice, beans, noodles, etc. in plastic bags. Canned foods in damaged cans, rust, will go bad. Yes, if you stored a case of canned pork and beans in a strictly temperature and humidity controlled room, it would last a long time. Under normal conditions, however, canned goods would go bad when the can went bad. I worked in a cannery. Unless I was starving, I would not eat any canned good over 5 years old. Second edit. I added my first edit after many of these comments, to expand on my opinion. I wonder if there would be a way to set up some sort of farming system using the gardening supplies? Edit. Finding enough water would be an issue. Maybe if there's a hole in the ceiling to let in rain, depending on your climate zone, or if running water still functioned, or if there's some way to collect water by going outside at all.